I won't desert you.
Lookouts are posted, Captain. You know, if you think about it, I have thousands of eyes. Actually, please don't think about it.
It's to be the royal treatment, then.
Whatever our disagreements, both of the great maritime empires have proper respect for tea. The very first version of me gave the Spanish Armada a proper thrashing, and that was without planes. Food for thought.
I do love coming home.
On the other hand, the less fighting we have to do here, the better.
What circular reasoning brought us to the Arctic?
I haven't forgotten what I was built for, Captain. Once the Morganas are dealt with, I've business with a certain failed artist to our south.
The Black Sea.
Truly, the darkest letter in the alphabet. We ought to check in on Malta while we're here. They're a bit starved for good neighbours. My name is the latest in an honoured tradition, but sometimes I daydream about being called Arch-Imperial.
Against all trouble, Captain. Clear to the horizon, Captain. We'll be ready if and when that changes. An honour, Captain. Shall we begin? Right, we're on the move. Land of the rising sun? That connotes an empire where it sets. Between the old world and the new. I defended these waters once. I can. Will do it again. You're cold. Try being made out of metal. Well, we've arrived. I look only slightly more forward to leaving. I'd like to think we've learned from Gallipoli. I was the flagship of the Mediterranean fleet, you know, until that nonsense in the Aegean. The crown jewel of our empire, if we can keep it.
Thought you'd never ask. It's not just the Morganas we're looking for. Any advantage we can spot makes a difference. Leave the heavy lifting to me. I like it here. They respect a warrior's heart. Well, rams no ambrosia, but it will do in an emergency. If I'd been around for the Great War, we wouldn't even need to patrol these waters. The cold is just one more opponent. The fighting spirits burned out of the sea. No, the Germans don't count. Now, these are straits worth defending, and in home waters, no less. Don't think I don't have my eye on the Italians. You know what they do when they build empires. Alexander the Great would have killed for this view. Actually, that's exactly what he did.
Proud to serve, Captain. You think I should give the lookouts some dancing lessons just so they stay awake? It's my lucky day! Listen, Captain, we've come too far for me not to get hammered with sake and try to sing Auld Lang Syne in Japanese. You understand? It's not going to be easy being a vegetarian around here, is it? This is home, Captain. Isn't it amazing? Ah, it's fine. Nice and brisk. Just have to remember to keep the crew from burning anything valuable. It's almost like being in my home waters. Only surrounded by Germans and Soviets. Yay? I mean, it's okay. And I've heard interesting things about Soviet alcohol, so that's a plus. It's no Scapa Flow, but you can get some interesting coffee. I'm sorry, water just shouldn't get this hot if there isn't food in it. Everything smells amazing.
I knew you would need me eventually. Honestly, Captain, I don't see what's wrong with all my lookouts being from the United Kingdom. You want us here? In Japan? Well, this could take some getting used to. I spent time in these waters during my world cruise. There are so many strange sorts of people here. No matter where we end up, I'm sure you'll find my vast experience in travel beneficial. You've chosen this as our base? Well, I suppose it's good I have my fur coats with me. Ah, Scandinavia. Some of my earliest memories involve these waters. The Mediterranean is nearly a second home to me. I've sailed these waters in times of war and peace.
I won't let the fleet down, Captain! No news from the lookouts. It all seems gallingly quiet out there. Japanese have built themselves quite a navy. I'll give them that. It might be interesting to have a look around. Don't worry, Captain. The Morganas won't get any convoys on our watch. I know these waters well, Captain. Pay attention and I might teach you a trick or two. We're a long way north, Captain. What do we expect to find? Germany on one side, the Soviets on the other. What could go wrong? I wonder if the Turks allowed us here just to unsettle the Soviets. International politics is a tricky game. The Mediterranean. Oh, I've been looking forward to this. It's a bit warm, but at least it shouldn't be dull.
I'll do my best to support you and the fleet, Captain. The lookouts are sufficiently dressed for this evening's weather. I've always been interested in learning more about Japanese fashion. I'm sure we'll get along well here, Captain. We can get along well just about anywhere. I'm fond of these northern waters. They feel so much like home. I'd better start adding wool linings to the crewmen's coats. I'm sure we'll get along well here, Captain. We can get along well just about anywhere. Oh, it's so warm! How is the crew supposed to survive in their uniforms when it's this warm outside?
Where do you need me, Captain? All's quiet, Captain. I just hope the lookouts aren't getting bored. I wonder if we'll see any of the Montgomery bells while we're here. Oh, this is lovely. So warm. I do enjoy the sea life out here. Very friendly. Well, it's certainly brisk out here. Germany to the southwest, the Soviets to the east. What could go wrong? I'm wrapping my mind around being so close to Nicaea. Oh, isn't it now, I suppose? I just think of it as a place to read about in the history books, you know? So, the Mediterranean. I should get postcards.
I won't let you down, Captain. The lookouts say all is quiet, Captain. If anything, they seemed bored. What's your mood, Captain? Song, story, or heroic exploits? I hope the Japanese don't miss us looking around. I hear they can be kind of touchy. Would it be weird if I sent somebody to get Houston a present from home? I wonder how many Linder girls are up here these days. We do get around, don't we? Well, this is an unhappy place. Keep an eye out for the Golden Fleece, Captain. You won't be surprised to learn this feels awfully familiar. Quite the steam bath. I love it. As far as I'm concerned, we're just helping out my neighbors.
On royal wings! I've promised a reward to anyone who spots pirates. The old days never really leave you. Sail with me and you'll never be late again. We've got cherry blossoms in India too. They just strike you differently here in Japan. We're on the wrong side of the world for pirates these days. I could tell you some wild stories about Bias Bay. It took a few years and a whole shipyard to get me afloat, but it was worth it to work out the kinks. Well, the initial ones. My poor planes come back shivering at these latitudes. So close to home, and yet new to me. I gather I'm not the only belle who feels that way. I think I'll reread Murder on the Orient Express while we're here. If I were an island, I'd probably be Malta. Some of my heaviest volume deliveries are to India. I need to get more conversational in Tagalog. Maybe I'll write one of the Americans.
I know my duty, Capitan. I won't let you down. The lookouts are always caught off guard by the sight of me in my cloak. I scare them half to death. This place is a little far north for my tastes, but I'll do my best to soldier on through. Ah, this is just the sort of warm weather I like. Let's never leave. No matter where we set up base, Capitan, I'm sure we'll be all right. You can set up a base here if you want, but I'm not coming out of my cabin. I'm curious what kind of vine we might be able to find in this area.
Honoured to serve, Captain. Night watch and position, Captain. All's quiet. Let's go cause some trouble. Not the friendliest waters I've ever visited. Do you think too much sunshine can make a person complacent? It's nice to be relatively close to home. I'll be on the lookout for ice, Captain. I can hardly imagine how much the Russians must hate having us here. I've been around here before. Remind me to tell you my earthquake relief horror story sometime. This place feels right and warm.
Happy to support the effort from below, Captain. No Morgana activity we can find, Captain. It's a quiet night so far. We have interesting company out here, Captain. It'll be a pleasure to explore. I appreciate this, Captain. The water here is very comfortable. This will always feel like home to me. Don't worry, Captain. I can swim a long way under ice. Chilly, but manageable. I feel like a big fish in a small sea. That's not necessarily a complaint. There's a lot to see down here. Interesting.
I'm happy to be of service, Capitaine. Lookouts are at the post, Capitaine. Sounds like all's quiet. I mean, obviously it's quiet. It sounds like all's... never mind. So that's Japan? Can we look around? Okay, I wouldn't mind spending some more time around Kingston. It's not home, but it has some charm. Oh, home. I know the cold doesn't do much for the crew, but as long as you keep me away from icebergs, I'm happy enough. Climate's okay here. We're sure the Russians won't start shooting at us, right? I don't know. This feels a long way from home. I'm okay, though.
I guess this is where a lot of the action is. Are we going to be guarding Malta? This place is amazing, Capitaine. A little bit hot, but amazing. This place is amazing, Capitaine. A little bit hot, but amazing.
I promise, Captain, I won't let you down. I take a lot of care in choosing my lookouts. I want to avoid any unnecessary surprises. Everyone's following my lead. Well then, let's do it. For all the nautical miles I've traveled, it's strange that there are so many places I'm yet to see. I was always fascinated by the postcards I delivered featuring pictures of this place. It will be nice to spend time close to home, even if the waters are cold for my liking. Why? Of all places possible, why would you choose a base in a place this cold? I've sailed across the Mediterranean more times than I can count. I know all the best stops. I could sail from Aden to Bombay with my eyes closed, I'll have you know. Many times before the war, I wasn't far from Malaysia, but I never saw it with my own eyes.
I'll take the fight to the enemy, Captain. The night watch is alert and at their positions, Captain. Hopefully they'll find us something to sink soon. Another island nation, another proud navy. It's like looking in a slightly tilted mirror. Just keep the rum intake to a minimum. These are my hunting grounds, Captain. Watch and be amazed. Ah, smell that clean air. Watch out for frostbite, though. These aren't British waters, I know, but I rather like them. This isn't home, I know, but it just feels so good. Should be a lot of Morgana activity down here. Excellent. Hot. So hot. Lots of places for the enemy to hide. Interesting.
We'll do our bit, Captain. I'm just about to take tea to the lookouts. Or do you think coffee is more appropriate? Whatever best helps them help me avoid a sneak attack. Let's get started. Ooh, what beautiful islands. Convoy duty? Very good. This isn't too far from where I launched, relatively speaking. I won't say that you can see Lint House from here, but still. There's so much unhappiness here, Captain. I wish we could do more. Ever so often, I get just a whiff of the deep waters here. It's the lack of oxygen. I know, but they're very odd. We really need to stock up on good posture while we're here. And let's be wary around Tobruk. Something about the place makes me uneasy. Oh yeah, permission to lie in the sun and just bake for a while. Exciting.